Oh, well, that was hectic. Sorry we're a bit late, guys. Welcome back to Paddock to Podium. This is the second episode, and this is live reactions to the Canadian Grand Prix. We're a little bit late. It is lap 6, but we haven't really missed much apart from George Russell pulling an absolute worldie of a gap onto Max Verstappen and Kevin Magnussen gaining 9 places off the start. Now, we're just going through, I believe, who are we on board with? No, we're not on board with anyone, really. Is this Kevin Magnussen behind? No, Kevin Magnussen's in P4. Started on the full wet, so I don't know, Dustin, what's that saying about the tyre difference right now? Because pretty much everyone else, apart from both passes, are on the full, are on Inters, sorry, and you've just got Leclerc on the radio here saying that people on Inters are now going faster than the full wets.
Yeah, so I think what we're gonna see is obviously they said that the track conditions really, like, they're not expecting any more rain than what's already laid down on the track. So I think what we're going to see is, Magnussen and Hulkenberg, they really took a gamble to get off the line quick, try to gain positions, and then work out a strategy there. Obviously,
yellow flag too. Logan Sargent, and that looks. I was going to say it looks like a big one, but it looks like he's just gone straight on. Maybe.
I think he went straight on. I don't think that's a big deal. But no, going back to the wet tires, you can obviously see the track conditions already kind of like the driver line already kind of drying out. I think that we're going to get probably a lap 25, and I think that those wets are really going to wear off unless it really starts putting down rain. I don't foresee anything crazy happening there. It's a cool story.
What's happening there? Storyline. That's the Astons, I think. Is one of the Astons going off? I think it is. That was for.
Yeah, I think that's Alonso. Yeah, it's Alonso.
Yeah, Fernando Alonso having a bit of a moment at the final corner there, having to take to the escape road. And then Lewis Hamilton has the same issue, completely cutting turn 2. So he should give that place back to Fernando Alonso pretty quickly here, which it looks like he is doing now. Oh, but a moment there. Fernando as he's going. Nobody has any sort of grip here. This is insane. We had Fernando Alonso having a snap at the final corner, then going across. We had Lewis Hamilton at turn 2 going across. And then as he was giving back the place, we had Fernando Alonso nearly putting himself in a wall, trying to get back past Hamilton. So grip coming at a premium for these cars then.
Yeah. And look who's lurking right behind them, just waiting on one of them to make a mistake to prey on both of them.
And Charles Leclerc, he says, he's losing quite a bit down the straights. Half a second he's losing down the straights compared to the cars around him, which are currently Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda.
I think this is a classic example of Ferrari luck.
Well, not necessarily Ferrari luck. You can put this down to luck, but normally it's them being absolutely stupid.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on that. I'm just waiting on it to cut real quick and then go to Leclerc with just white smoke just rolling out of the back, and then he stops.
Stop. Here we go. It's one of the Hasses. Who is it? It's Kevin Magnussen. Yeah. Magnussen's in for intermediate. Had a fucking flying start, but
and Haas just absolutely just crippled him.
Yeah, but to be fair, it wouldn't surprise me now if they do the same thing with Nico Hulkenberg on the next lap.
That's crazy, dude. That is so slow. 8 seconds. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was like a Sauber pit stop. That.
You know what's crazy to me too is that Haas owns a NASCAR team. You think he would have a better pit? Like a better pit crew training program or something like that.
In fairness, they're pulling out of NASCAR at the end of this season.
Well, no, his partner's leaving, so.
Yeah, but I think that the team itself are just ceasing all operations. At least that's what they've.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's because Tony Stewart's pulling out. He's moving his money elsewhere, so Haas has decided not to front all the money himself. So.
I can't say I blame him, to be honest.
No. I mean, NASCAR is slowly dying anyway, so.
Yeah, but it's still quite fun. It's still quite entertaining to me, especially the super speedways when they're all packed together and chaos could happen at any moment.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah. That was the yellow flag. That was one of the Alpines and Sergio Perez. I think that was a bit of Perez's front wing there coming.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I don't know who it was he tangled with. I know it was one of the Alpines. Would not surprise me if it was Esteban Ocon, given the history these two have got together.
That's what I was going to say. I bet it's Esteban.
I'm trying to tell. It looks like Ocon, I think. I was trying to see the number, but because on these new cars, you can barely see the numbers. So you can hardly see who it was. And there's Logan Sargent having a bit of a moment on the. Was that the race start as well? It could have been. He had a very good qualifying, Logan Sargent. Made Q2 for the first time in his Formula One career. An interesting stat that I picked up on with Logan Sargent is that in all of his race starts, which has been 30 so far, he's never out-qualified his teammate, Alex Albon, so that record is 30-0. But he's out-qualified Sergio Perez 6 times. That's mad. And then we've just seen the incident now that's just happened with Logan Sargent. He's just gone straight on.
That's my one knock. Being a Red Bull fan, that's my one knock on Sergio. I don't know how this dude always starts at the ass of the field, but it's fun to watch the Red Bull fly through the field usually. So, like, I mean, it is what it is, but, like, at the same time, it's like, dude, how are you always at the back of the field?
Bad news if you're a Daniel Ricciardo fan. He's been noted for a false start. And normally, when you get noted for a false start, that means you've 100% done it. Except if you're Lando Norris during the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, but that's a different story. Leclerc cannot overtake, and since to be fair, I was looking at Carlos Sainz there, who's in 13th, but since we've last gone to him, that he has gone up a place. But no, to be fair, that was because of Magnussen pitting. So he didn't overtake anyone on track. He just gained a position because of Magnussen coming into the pits. The camera's doing pretty well to focus on this battle currently going on for fifth between Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. Nothing really has been happening since the whole Hamilton going off and then Fernando nearly killing himself trying to get back past him. We're on board with Max Verstappen. Nothing really, is he catching, George? I think because I saw the gap go
I don't know. The gap counter's off because it's telling everybody what tires they got on.
Yeah. I mean, they've had that on for about a minute now. These TV directors, honestly, need something.
There we go. Yes, he is catching them.
1.3. Gee, well, that gap like 2.5 a few laps ago.
Yeah, it was like 2.3, I think. Now it's 1.2. Yeah, he's going to catch him.
A testament here to this new asphalt that's just been laid down at the Gilles Villeneuve, because look how quickly it's drying.
Yeah, I think Max was trying to play it safe in the rain for the first few laps. He was kind of like, all right, let me keep George within striking distance, but let me ultimately, just play smart. Stay close, but don't attack, and then let the track kind of dry up a little bit, and then I'll make my moves.
Well, one thing that can be said is that the front two have absolutely cleared both McLarens. They're 8.5 seconds between Max and Lando for P2 and P3.
I think that just speaks to the Red Bull, honestly. Like, I don't know what it is about the Red Bull, man. It's just a good car.
Well, I'm just trying to enjoy this moment while I can, because this is probably going to be the last time in the race we've got anyone other than Max Verstappen leading. So I'm savouring this moment while I can. But as I say that gap's gone down by about 7 tenths.
Dude, don't hold your breath. It's George Russell. Come on, man. He loves crashing Red Bulls.
I was fully expecting there to be an absolute explosion, though. We've got a bit of a train going on here. This is between Hülkenberg, Ricciardo, Stroll, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Albon, and Sainz. Now, Magnussen's about 3 seconds off the back of that. And he's on the fresher tyres as well. So wouldn't be surprised if he catches up to that and makes it a 9-car train. Is it not? I don't know. I can't count. But there you see the graphic right at the bottom here. Just the absolute fucking gigantic pace difference between the Inters and the wets right now. And why is Hülkenberg still on the wet?
I think Haas might have had a technical difficulty, and they don't want to pull Hülkenberg in right now because of whatever went on with Magnussen's pit stop.
It's almost as if we've got sort of the opposite of the commentator's curse, because remember how we mentioned that Lando was dropping off massively to the back of Verstappen? He just sets the fastest lap and he's pulled 2 seconds on the pair of them. So either it's drying pretty goddamn quickly, or Lando's suddenly found out that his McLaren actually has some pace.
I think it's dried out a lot in the racing line, kind of like I was saying. It happened a lot quicker than I thought, too.
Ooh,
so we're lap 12, and it's starting to dry out a lot. Like, look at that. That's dry almost by F1 standards. So
yeah, but I wouldn't expect to see anyone going on slicks anytime soon, unless your name is Sebastian Vettel. And of course, he's not on the grid anymore, but he was always the first, wasn't he? When there was a doubt, look at that dry line coming down the straight. That's clearly a very dry line there.
That's what I'm saying,
don't think anyone's going to come into the pits just yet. But there is a clear line forming, so I'd give it about 7, 8 laps.
I think honestly, by my original prediction, 25 around lap 25 is when you're going to see stuff start switching up. But it dried out a lot faster than I thought it was going to. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like,
yeah, and they were saying before the race. Everyone was saying, "Oh, we're expecting heavy rain in 10 minutes. It's going to rain again before the race starts." And it didn't. Is that Hulkenberg losing another position? Yes, it is. He's now into 11th, dropped behind.
He's probably cooking those wets. He's probably cooking those wets, man.
He really is. And there is a penalty from Daniel Ricciardo. Jacques Villeneuve is doing backflips right now. Daniel Ricciardo's getting a penalty. It's a 5-second penalty here. We have George Russell on the radio saying that, saying exactly pretty much what we've been saying, that the Inters are going to die soon. So that's the scenario. That's the difficulty they find themselves in, and the difficulty that Nico Hulkenberg's just found himself in. He's coming on to Inters now, but he's going to have to pit again in about 10 laps time for slicks. And the main issue now for these teams is it's getting to the point now where it looks too dry for Inters, but too wet for slicks. And we saw this quite a lot throughout this weekend. And it's just, what do? You see George Russell just pulled offline there to try and cool his tyres back down so it doesn't completely ruin them. And once you've got drivers starting to do that, that's when you know that there's a noticeable dry line and that, okay, someone might gamble. I don't think anyone's going to do this early, but you never know. Maybe Ferrari, because they're notorious for making stupid decisions like that.
It's only stupid if it doesn't work.
Well, to be fair, if I'm Sergio Perez, I'm thinking about possibly going onto slicks because he's in P15. He's got nothing to lose.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, if I'm Red Bull right now, I'm gonna gamble with Perez, test the waters, and then make my move with Max.
20 minutes to slicks, says George Russell, and that gap now, Max Verstappen is right on his gearbox. Woo!
He said that's when the rain's expected to hit. So they are predicting more rain.
More rain. Oh, that's going to throw a fucking spanner in the works, that isn't it? Because they're saying
how much rain though. They didn't give any indication as to how much rain. It could have been half an inch. It could have been 2 inches. It could have been 8 inches. Dude, it could be they could be driving in the Pacific Ocean for all we know.
Well, this might help Nico Hulkenberg out pretty well because he just came into Inter's last lap. And if it's going to rain again, it's going to start getting back into the conditions where Inters are the optimal tyre. And everyone else is completely dead. He's got the freshest tyres on the grid. But
dude,
look at that.
Oh my God, that's so dry, dude.
It's so dry. But that's the thing. It was so dry just before the corner, but it still looks quite a bit like decently wet after the corner. Rain 18 minutes. Woo-hoo-hoo! This is what I've been fucking waiting for. This is saucy. This is the kind of race I like to watch. And another fastest lap.
George slid right there. Did you see that?
26.8. Oh, yeah. But then there's Max having a bit of a moment coming out of 10 too. Well, look, George is so late on the brakes.
Yeah, George's whole rear end just came out from underneath him right there in that last corner.
Lando Norris, 4.2 seconds behind Verstappen now. Could this be a three-way battle for the lead soon? Look at that.
What do you think's going through George's head right now? If Max passes me, I just need to go wheel to wheel and crash him into the wall at approximately 56 miles an hour.
If Max draws alongside or goes ahead, especially coming into the hairpin, if I'm George Russell right now, there's only 4 words going into my mind. Oh no, brake failure. But right now, he's doing quite a good job of keeping him behind. He's losing about 0.3 is Max Verstappen, but he's gaining it back. So they seem pretty matched on pace here. And at this point, I don't think Max Verstappen's going to be able to get by.
I think Max is honestly trying to play it smart. I think he's trying to preserve those tires because they say rain in 18 minutes. And I think Max could very easily overtake George right now, but it would be a fight. And you don't want to cook your tires and then end up in Schitt's Creek. Looks like Lando's getting back in the conversation, though.
He is 3.8 seconds now, the gap, as it is on my screen. And then when you get to the point, that's when you know. When you get to the point where you can physically see the car behind, that's when you know, okay, we could actually have a fight here. And it's quite a good position for the McLarens right now because it's not really a position of much risk. Yeah, you've got Lando Norris closing in at a rate of knots onto the top 2. But then you've got Oscar Piastri, who's just in a comfortable little position, sort of on a Sunday drive by himself. He's got Lando, his teammate, 8.1 seconds ahead of him. But the nearest car behind him is Fernando Alonso, who's 11.2 seconds behind. So he's not under threat from anyone.
They need to figure out how Lando just gained all this ground. I think he's letting fuel out onto the track or something.
I think he's woken up, is what's happened.
No, he's definitely letting fuel out onto the track.
This reminds me of the end of Imola.
This is some Ferrari burning oil kind of shit, if I've ever seen it right here. This is this is wild.
He got his engineer to just put a hole in his fuel tank before the race, and then when he comes in for the pit stop, just plug it back in again. If you're Lando Norris now, you're thinking Imola. Because remember how quickly he gained on Max at the end of Imola. And he always says if he has 1 or 2 more laps, he would have passed him and won. But now, he's got 53 more laps.
Yeah, no excuses.
Yeah. So this time he's just set another fastest lap. I don't know if that's the track just evolving. There's Max Verstappen going off at turn 2.
His tires are cooked, dude.
It's a very rare mistake from the world champion.
Tires are cooked, bro.
That's not only dropped him off the back of George Russell, but that's put him straight into the grasp of Lando Norris. Well, I say that, he just pulled about half a second back up George through turn 4. And we see, there we go, we're going to go on board with him. What's happened here? Has he just locked up? No, just no grip. It wouldn't turn in.
His tires are cooked, bro.
Wow. So this is going to be interesting then. Mac, he's losing so much time. He's lost about 1.5 seconds this lap.
He's got a box.
The gaps continue to grow.
Yeah, he's got a box. Yeah, he's got a box.
What, for more inters?
I don't know. I don't see the radar that the teams can see, so they're going to know more than what we know. I mean, they say rain in 18 minutes. So
it's 13 now. It's completely dry.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't know. I don't know what the racing line from what I'm watching here, it looks like it's mostly dry. But if you get outside that racing line on slicks, you're screwed. Like it's still wet on the outsides of the track, but the racing line is dry. Yeah,
now you can see both Lando and Max trying to pull off the dry line to get some cooler temperature back into the tires, to get some water through them so they don't completely wear them out. Max Verstappen has stayed out. And I think that's the right call because you don't want to pit for slicks when there's rain in 10 minutes.
No, you don't. But also, too, if your inners are
for the rest of the field.
Yeah, if your inners are cooked and you're going to lose enough track position, I mean, rain is the notorious equalizer. You can't afford to not be able to keep pace in a wet track condition because it's a great neutralizer.
1.2 seconds quicker on the last lap was Lando Norris. Oh no, that was Oscar Piastri. So Piastri is gaining a bit of ground on the top 3 now. Could we? Yeah, now we see a 4-way battle for the lead? Alex Albon getting past Yuki Tsunoda in the background.
They told Piastri, they were like, "Hey, this button unplugs the fuel tank. Just go ahead and."
Wait, what's this? These timing screens are confusing the shit out of me because they're saying that they just said that Tsunoda and Albon have passed each other, yet they're 1.4 seconds apart.
Yeah, I don't know.
Odd, but. Don't think we're going to see any overtakes here. Look at that. Look at that. It is bone dry, except for like the very edges of the track. What?
I think Max is praying for rain right now.
Max is doing a rain dance in the cockpit, definitely. The RS has been enabled. How do you know? It's
Max is on an island.
There we go. Another fastest lap for Lando Norris. Immediately, another fastest lap for Oscar Piastri, a 1:25.9. All
right, let's see if we see any fuel coming out of the back of this.
Yeah, I'm looking really closely. No, I can't see it.
There's no way, dude. He was like 8 seconds. He was like 8 seconds back, and he just
half a second.
What is going on, dude? Did Zach figure out how to wake up the car? So he's like, oh shit, we forgot half the engine was off.
They suddenly found a way to remove 300 kilos of weight. So, but it's a rough ride over the curb there for Lando Norris, but still.
I'm telling you right now, if both McLarens are in the top 3 at the end of this race. If I'm Christian Horner, I am immediately employing the FIA to investigate that car.
Get the random inspections.
Yeah, I even think Toto Wolff will do it at this point because George is looking pretty stout this race too.
Well, I don't know because George now is almost sort of creeping back into the. Oh, there's Lando up there. See, that's the thing. They've enabled DRS, but no one's using it because Lando has just been behind Max for the entire of the main straight there.
I don't think they're trying to cook their tires, bro. I think they're trying to see what's really going to go down with this rain. Is it going to rain like they're saying it is? Is it going to be a light misting? Like what's going to happen? I just think they're
trying to. Piastri again, fastest lap 1:25.5, 0.4 of an improvement. But right, look at this.
What's the number for the FIA? I'm gonna make a phone call real quick.
Derek Warwick, get down here at this instant. Well, no, I could be saying that because I'm a Lando fan. You're a Max and Red Bull fan. You should be phoning the FIA saying, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, look at this. This bullshit. Somebody get down here and look at this car.
What was that? FIA, yeah. Come here. Does this smell like chlorophyll?
I can't wait till the end of this race and they say they can't get a fuel sample out of the McLarens. I'm going to know that I was right.
Oh, no, because I knew someone who is the biggest Sebastian Vettel fan you'll ever meet. And after Hungary 2021.
Yeah.
They were in fucking pieces. And I almost wanted to laugh because I wanted to laugh because it's funny, but then I remembered how I would have felt if that was me and my favourite driver. Like, here we go. Could this be a move? Is this a move? Is this an overtake? Yes, it is. Lando Norris up to P2. and now has just opened himself up to now have clean air, sort of, because he's only a second behind George Russell. But that's the thing. He can now go and attack George Russell for the race lead and has just set the fastest lap.
I mean, I see this as one of two good ways. You got George Russell, who is going to crash into someone that tries to pass him for the pole. So this is a sacrificial lamb with Lando, I think.
Yeah, Max is like, yeah, you just go on through because I don't want to be any part of what happens when you two come together.
I'm telling you, dude. George Russell, I love him. He's a great driver, but for the love of God, he loves crashing into things.
And with how much that Red Bull has been built as the quickest car in a straight line, that looked pretty easy for Lando Norris.
I mean, that DRS is a big thing. Speaking of which, the new regulation is getting rid of the DRS system. That's going to be an interesting thing to see unfold.
Weekend going back to work for Ferrari fans as Charles Leclerc just been passed by Alex Albon.
Listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd. Absolutely on their feet for this one.
Right. Is this a path for the lead? Is this a path for the lead? Is this an overtake? Fuck off, Monza. Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, your new race leader is Lando Norris and George Russell going off at the wall of champions. So that's going to open it up to Max Verstappen, who now moves up into second. So George Russell, in a space of 2 corners, going from first to third. And a new fastest lap for Lando Norris in the process. So this track is really ramping up. But I fear it's only ramping up just to get a lot worse again. A 2.2 second gap.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's something. This math is not mathing, bro. This is not possible.
So here we're just seeing the replay now. Lando Norris, pretty routine pass there and a big snap for George Russell, which forces him off at the left-hander. And now Max Verstappen's going to be like, well, thank you very much, Lando Norris. You just gave me a place.
Lando was 8 seconds back. How is this even a thing? Dude?
And look at Oscar Piastri now as well. He's about 3.5 seconds back after being 8 seconds behind even Lando Norris.
Interestingly enough, though, look at our predictions. So
yeah,
it almost looked like we copied each other. But not only did we do that, but it almost looks like somehow, some way, it might come to fruition.
And look at Oscar Piastri. Oh, my fucking camera's decided to start.
Oh, welcome back, Ollie. This is Pat.
Oh yeah, really. Oh, no, it's nice to be here. And Monza, can you fuck off?
Look at that! Look at that line from that view, dude. That's dry. That line is dry, even at the wettest part of the track.
Now George Russell's under investigation. He's not under investigation. It's been noted by the stewards for rejoining unsafely. Do you think? I'm not sure if there was anything unsafe about that because Max had a lot of time to react. Ooh, contact between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin. That looks very close. I'm surprised.
I am curious to get your take on this. Isn't it odd to you that Lewis Hamilton is in the exact same car as George Russell, and somehow it seems to be that George Russell outperforms Lewis in that car every week?
I don't know. I mean, I think Lewis is at the point of his career now where he's just not getting as much out of cars as he used to. But we saw this in 2022. George absolutely smacked him in the standings. Like, George, I think, finished, 4th or 3rd? In the standing, and Lewis ended up finishing, I think it was 8th. So I think Mercedes, what they're starting to do now is they're realizing that George is their man for the future, and they're starting to build the car around him when they've been for so long, they've been building the car around Lewis and his driving style. And I think that now he doesn't have a car like that. You can definitely start to tell. And that's why we're having this conversation in the first place, because now we can tell that Lewis doesn't have the car that he wants.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting, too, because with Ferrari, I understand that Lewis is going there and he's a big name, but that's Leclerc's team.
Have you seen the gap at the top? 5.6 seconds. What is Lando doing?
I'm telling you, he's dropping fuel onto the track.
Is he got Initial D playing in his fucking headphones right now? Honestly, his engineer, have you seen the film, Gran Turismo?
Yes.
Yeah, do you know at the end where the guy, what is his name? Salter, I think it is. Starts playing it, gets his little VHS thing.
Oh yeah.
Starts playing his music down just to piss him off. I think that's what's happening at the McLaren right now.
What is going on?
Will Joseph, Lando's race engineer, has just got gas playing down the team radio.
What is happening, dude? We seen Lando get his first win, and now he's a man possessed.
Yeah. Well, normally you'd say that's what a first race win does to someone, but I mean, that point's kind of...
There's no way they pull a full fuel sample off this car at the end of the race. There's no way.
No, I don't know. I reckon
Dude, he went from 8 seconds. He went from 8 seconds back to leading the Grand Prix by almost 8 seconds. There's no way.
They've done the 2008 tactic. They're going to pull the black screens at the pit stop and just sneak the fuel hose in. And this is very close now between Oscar Piastri and George Russell. Lando, by the way, has just increased the gap by another 2 seconds. And there's a yellow flag. Oh,
Logan?
I think it's
Logan Sargent.
And that looks like damage. That could be a safety car. And it looks like...
I feel so bad for Logan, man. This Williams car is just not...
The engine there. It looks like Logan Sargent is out of the Canadian Grand Prix. And it looked like a hefty hit from the initial thing we saw. But upon having another look at the car, I couldn't see any noticeable damage. But Logie Bear strikes again. And Max Verstappen is doing backflips right now. But we're still not on the safety car, so we're still free to race here. And this is good news for anyone who's a fan of racing.
Woo.
Oh, now. Oh, yeah. You little fucking dickheads. And no, that's fucked because they timed that. The little bastards at the fucking FIA, they've timed that, right? Who the fuck's the race director now? Because it was Neil Vittich. I am coming for you. You timed that just before the fucking DRS zone where Oscar was going to blast past George Russell. You little shit. I will fucking find you. I will not find you. I'm going to get your IP address and do absolutely nothing about it because I can't be out. And now everyone, apart from Lando Norris, is in the pits. If he's going to be slicks going on fresh into
he doesn't need to pit, dude. His tires are all-purpose tires.
Yeah. He's got the Formula E tires, and it looks like fresh intermediates going on. Ooh, safety car. They do call Canada Safety Car Central. We've had 15 in the last 20 over here. And, well, I suppose if you need a safety car, there is one man to call, and that is Logan Sargent, because he seems to be...
Oh, did you see the news right after we made our last episode? Yuki Tsunoda extended.
And then Jacques Villeneuve went on his little rant about Daniel Ricciardo, if you saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said he was doing backflips when Ricciardo got the fucking 5-second penalty. Logan Sargent's car is still there, by the way. These marshals aren't in any sort of a rush to get... Oh, no. But this has fucked Lando Norris over now. Because if he wants to pit, he's not going to come out in the race lead again. Let's see what's happened to Sargent.
It looks like he just caught the little strip there.
Just drops it by himself. Why am I not surprised? And that is where the damage came from. That's rear wing damage. And obviously, well, I would say you can't replace them. You can replace them, but I don't think you can replace them under Parc Fermé rules. So if you get wing damage in the race and you carry on, you're carrying it for the rest of the race because I don't think you're allowed to replace it during and there's Lando Norris coming into the pits. Why the fuck is he doing this? You're not... What the fuck? Well, to be fair, if this second stint for him now is anything like his first, I'm expecting him to be back in the lead by about a lap after the safety car comes in. Here we go. There's Max Verstappen, I think, has just gone through. George Russell's just gone through. But no, to be fair, the exit of the pit lane is going to help him out massively here. He's going to be behind George Russell and only just ahead of Oscar Piastri. That was close.
I think that Zach Brown over there at McLaren is currently hoping that it rains really, really seriously because he doesn't want people.
They still haven't moved Sargent's car. What the fuck? To be fair, I don't think this is that bad for Lando now.
That was throwing me off so bad. Sorry, not to cut off what you were saying. I was listening to the cars and I was hearing the safety car and I was like, why in the hell does that one car sound like that? Because it was following Lando. And then I heard the safety car, and then it cut back to the safety car, and I heard it. And I was like, okay, they just overlapped the sound there. I was so confused. I was like, he's got a V10 in there. I was like, no wonder.
Right, the field is all over the place at the moment. I mean, this is just showing how much the gap had gone up because, well. The safety car is now at the hairpin, and you've got Zhou Guanyu, who hasn't even made it to the final corner. He's just going through the final corner.
What's Max saying here? Or is that Christian?
What goes around comes around, he said. What does he mean by that? But right now, Lando Norris is the fastest car on track. So
Christian was referring to the safety car, I think in Miami.
oh, that's weird.
I don't know why he's upset about that because I mean, let's be realistic here. The safety car it wasn't going to change anything. Like Max had underfloor damage. What does he think he's going to do? Chase down Lennon Norris with underfloor damage? It's not going to happen. Like I agree, the Red Bull's a great car, but it ain't that damn good.
Oh no, I mean, well, that's the thing. It's always bugged me with Christian Horner because every time Max does well, it's Max. But every time he does bad, it's the car and some sort of damage. And now the marshals have finally woken up from the little fucking power nap and decided to move over inside that.
In all fairness to your last comment, though, it kind of is true that when the car is when the car is not damaged, like Max is always at the front. And then you can tell this by you gauge his performance based off of Sergio Perez's performance, and you know that it's Max, not the car, because Sergio is in, statistically speaking, the best car on the grid and still cannot finish in the top 5 of Grand Prix. So
yeah, that's a good point, to be fair. Currently looking at Charles Leclerc, who's in P12. Now, a lot of people, if you'd have asked them before the race, they were expecting Ferrari to move up quite quickly, but they haven't, and they've just lacked pace all weekend. I mean, Christ. They're behind Ricciardo, who has a 5-second penalty. They're also, you got Sainz behind the Sauber of Valtteri Bottas, just ahead of Kevin Magnussen.
And Ferrari is in danger of not even scoring points here.
Exactly. Oh, I can't remember the last time I've seen Ferrari in this position. Like maybe about 2020 when they were actually dog shit. But that's about it. I mean, I can't remember the last time Ferrari were this bad. No.
Oh, dude, look at this. Dude, this 5-second penalty they gave Ricardo. I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
I didn't see it. I was trying to get my camera so back out, but
it was kind of it was really minute. I'm gonna watch the replay of it here on my other screen. Yeah, I don't. Oh, I see the radar there. Holy shit! There's a big pocket of rain coming. What's this?
Charles Leclerc has gone. He's gambled. He's gambled. He's gone for it. 24-second pit stop. And the safety car.
It's ironic, dude, that you were literally saying that Ferrari would be the ones to do it, and there they go.
I predict these things. This is call me Mystic fucking Mac because I
why is
Ferrari
it always
stupid enough?
Why is it always with Leclerc too? Why is it always Leclerc? They're like their guy, the guy they want to be there, and they always fuck him over.
I guess they kind of feel bad for trying to set Carlos Sainz on fire in Austria a few years ago, so everything stupid has been thrown at Leclerc.
We got a guest visitor.
And we've got we've got Charles Leclerc on hards. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. No idea what that's for.
Probably because
what's all that about?
Or just there we go.
Yeah, green flag. And it's now up to Max Verstappen acting as a de facto safety car to get us back underway. And he's gone, but he had a big snap coming out of the final corner. So this could let George Russell have a bit of a look up towards turn 1. I don't think he's going to. He's too far behind. So Max Verstappen leading into turn 1. The rest of the field being fairly well behaved. I know that the populace saying cautions breed cautions, but that doesn't look to be the case here. I think, they think they fixed the engine issue. But someone's just said something in the chat here that I quite like. Maybe Charles actually just trying that for Carlos. Maybe he's gone to the hards to see how well the slicks are. So if they're good, then they can pick Carlos for slicks.
Well, I want to know. I couldn't hear what the reasoning was. Is why it took 24 seconds? They were standing by with intermediate tires.
13 seconds behind Joe. So I think Ferrari, you've got your answer. He's lost about 15 seconds in half a lap. Yeah, Leclerc, understandably not very happy with that one. Do you know what I'm going to do? Right.
He said, "I'm going to keep it on track for 2 laps, and then we'll go fast."
This could be the look, This could be the.
It's kind of boring outside the initial Magnussen gaining 9 positions, and then the overtake there by Lando. It's kind of a boring Grand Prix, honestly.
Yeah. Now DRS has just been disabled again, so they were saying that the rain was going to come again, and it looks like it has.
Oh my God! Look at the time gap between Leclerc and.
Look at the gap. Oh, the delta, sorry. Between Verstappen and Leclerc 18 and a half seconds quicker on lap 30. And now Alex Albon are going on there with. What's happened here? He was going after Yuki Tsunoda or Daniel Ricciardo, one of the RBs. And he's...
Dude, barely threaded the needle with that one.
Oh, I think we have a brown flag in Sector 3 and Alex Albon needs a change of pants. Wow.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that take. Dude, look at this. Look at this on board. Dude, I wish it would show up from his helmet cam. Just imagine
he's lining up the move and then nearly collects Ocon.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh, he's really lucky there that Ocon doesn't turn in. Because if Ocon turns in there, he's dead. Like, Albon's dead. There's no two ways about it. And I know I said how good Lando Norris was, but he's kind of dropping off.
This is what we need. Now, this is good news.
Yeah, look at the track conditions now in the top right of the stream. Look at that. Remember when it was only 10, 1 and 2 that was inters and the rest was dry? Now it is literally just the middle sector that's dry and the rest is inters. And here is Charles Leclerc loading up the pasta gun as we speak. He's going for the full wets.
He's got to make up time, dude. He has to.
He's going for the full wets.
He's seen how aggressive it was.
Oh, that's a bit of body. Is that a bit of body work that's just come off? I don't know if that was body work that just came off or something that was lying there anyway, and that one of them had just run over. But Leclerc onto full wet. It's like Ferrari just are allergic to putting him on the right tire.
They're like, yeah, look, we can't let you win a championship here at Ferrari. We're in the business. We're in the business of losing. We're in the business of losing world championships.
Oh, the absolute state of Leclerc fans if Lewis joins next year and wins a championship in his first season. Oh, they would be like...
I don't know what would be more frustrating for Ferrari fans, to be happy that Ferrari's good again or to be pissed off that it required Lewis Hamilton to do it.
I'm not sure whose fans would be worse. Leclerc's if he doesn't win the championship or Lewis's if he does. I'm still torn between who would be worse to deal with.
I think you would definitely be Lewis's fans. Yeah, Lewis fans are some of the most interesting characters on the grid. That's
what it was. So there was a piece of bodywork. It was his end plate from Carlos Sainz. It was hanging up anyway, and I think it ended up falling off. And that's what we saw go flying up when it was behind the Williams.
This is weird to see Ferrari potentially not even going to score points. This is odd.
No, they're not. I don't think there's any way they can make up the ground into a points play position here. I mean, Sainz is stuck behind Bottas, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I was going to say Sainz is their only hope. I mean, Ricciardo's got a 5-second penalty. Unless they let him serve it under the safety car. Did they let him serve it under the safety car?
That's what I would have done. The only penalty you can't serve the safety car is but that's it. So 5 seconds, 10 seconds, stop and goes. You can normally get away with serving those under the safety car and you should be fine. So I think that's what Ricciardo has done. And we're now on board with Lance Stroll for some reason, chasing down Yuki Tsunoda. This is going to... Lance Stroll's apparently got his own grandstand as well, I've just heard on the commentary there. So imagine that. Imagine going all the way to the fucking Canadian Grand Prix and you end up sitting in a Lance Stroll grandstand. I'd refund my ticket.
It honestly bothers me that Lawrence I know that Lance will always be there as long as Lawrence owns the team, but I know that they could get so much more out of that seat if they would find a different driver.
Well, I genuinely think, though, if you take his dad out of the equation, I think Lance Stroll could be a much better driver. Like, not saying championships, maybe race wins, but the fact that he's not driving for his seat right now because he's guaranteed it just because his dad's in the team, like, that's why I think that's one of the major reasons why he's not as good as
somebody's off there. Who is off? Ironically, you were just talking about how good he could be, and he drives it off the track.
I immediately retract those statements. Did I say anything? I'm not sure I said anything about Lance Stroll.
I'll forgive you. I'll allow this one to pass.
Well, the TV directors here just cut away from it immediately, so I didn't get a chance to see what happened. I just saw him next to a sort of bollard, and I just cut to Piastri's on board.
This is honestly a pretty, the commentary is not bad, but whoever's working the cameras are really...
needs to be sacked.
Yeah, you need to fire them immediately.
And it's the same for every race as well. Like, the only race they don't have this, or that they didn't have this up until recently, was Monaco, where they had their own TV directors, but now they're using the official F1 TV directors. And that's why we've had the aerial helicopter shots for the past two or 3 years.
They've
switched over.
Yeah, I like those, but specifically some of these like they always cut away from the action, and then they cut back to it like 10 laps later, and they're like, "Oh, look what happened 10 laps ago." It's like, come on, man, are you serious right now?
You get crowd shots as the battle's happening, and then just replays 5 laps later. It's just, oh, that's Charles Leclerc.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
I thought that would have been Perez who we were on board with, but no, that's Verstappen, and he's about to lap Charles Leclerc because those fillets do not look good. Look, Jesus Christ, he's crawling through the corners.
I think he's given up at this point. He's understands that he made the wrong decision with signing a contract with Ferrari, and he should have. Imagine Leclerc and Max in the Red Bulls. I don't think we would ever finish a race. I think they would both crash each other all the time.
Probably.
It wouldn't be as bad as Sainz would be, though. Sainz would definitely crash Max.
No, so the FIA have finally realised that Charles is not actually leading the race ahead of Max Verstappen and giving him a blue flag. Nothing really happening at the moment, considering there's quite a few cars within a second of each other. Apart from Charles Leclerc, obviously, who's a minute and 4 seconds behind Nico Hülkenberg.
I can't wait to see the new cars, dude. I really can't. The smaller wheelbases, the more focus on driver like actual ability than the car. It's going to be huge. It's going to be such a huge thing. I think it's going to be. I mean, with any set of regulations coming out, there's always a team that figures it out how to be way better than everyone else. But I really like how they're searching for a car that's, really focused on driver ability.
But now at that point in the race, aren't we? Where Max is just gone, like
pissing off into the distance.
And I knew this was going to come. Like I had hope when Lando had passed the ball, but when that safety car got called out, and then Red Bull feeling need to have a dig at Lando for the safety car coming out. But to be fair, that was funny. That was quite funny because the safety car had assumed that Max was the leader when that got called out, and so they picked Max up without letting him pass like they did to Lando. So they just automatically assumed that Max would be the leading car because he normally is. And they picked him up, letting Lando just fuck off, having the free pit stop and coming back out ahead. So I think that's why Cristiano's having a go on the radio. But Perez getting a move done there on Kevin Magnussen, definitely justifying that multi-year contract extension now, isn't it? How they're giving him until the end of 2026 when he's barely getting past Kevin Magnussen. I'm convinced at this point that not Kevin Magnussen, that Sergio Perez has got incriminating evidence on Christian Horner. Otherwise, why else have they kept him?
His money, his father. That's why.
Oh, is his father? Is his dad minted?
Oh, his dad is rich as all get out. That's the only reason Sergio Perez has been in Formula One for as long as he has. That was his whole draw for back when it was still Racing Point. His dad is loaded. He's like I don't know what his dad does, but he's really wealthy Mexican businessman. I'm just not sure exactly what he does.
Who is Nico Hülkenberg getting past that? I think that was Joe Guan 2.3 seconds. I think at this point, Will Joseph needs to get the initial D back down the headset of Lando Norris just to give him a bit of a kick. Because right now he's dropping off the lead 2, considering he's on a lap.
So look at this. Sonoda has 37 laps on his current set of tires.
Yeah, he was one of the few that didn't come in under the safety car. I think there was Sonoda, Ocon, and Bottas. Yeah, Sonoda, Ocon, and Bottas were the only 3 that didn't come in. So, unless that was a little bit wide there, or a little bit too deep, I should say, from Carlos Sainz, and that's just let Pierre Gasly have a bit of a sniff, but he's not going to get anything done into turn 3.
I think Pierre Gasly is probably the biggest disappointment to me because I was really hoping he would stay linked with Red Bull because I really wanted him back in that second seat. Like if you asked me what driver I wanted back in that Red Bull seat, it was Pierre. I think that the driver ability is there. I think he just got promoted to Red Bull, the main Red Bull team, a little too fast. And I think he struggled with the pressure initially. But I think over the years he's matured. He's figured a lot out. I mean, he's a great racer. He moved to Alpine, and Alpine is like, it's one of the most disappointing teams, I think, on the grid in total.
Have you seen who their rumored next team principal is?
No.
Flavio Briatore. Flav is back, which is weird because I thought he was banned from Formula One after what happened in 2008. And he hasn't obviously set foot in F1 paddock until then. But apparently, Flavio Briatore, is George Russell's radio, apparently it's drying again, apart from in turns 1 and 2. So that's normally in Canada, that's where the rain comes from, is the first corner. And now it's looking a lot like it did on lap 19, where you've got everywhere apart from the... DRS just been enabled. They've just re-enabled DRS again.
That track is dry, dude. Look at that. Look at that line.
And that's on the part where they're saying it's wet. But it is kind of still wet. It's from that camera angle. Only just up until about that point there wasn't really a definitive dry line. But there is now. Look at that. Now Lewis Hamilton's going to be eyeing up Oscar Piastri. He's about 6 tenths behind.
I think Lewis heard us talking. I think Lewis heard us talking trash because he's came out of nowhere to somehow be right at the ass of the McLarens here.
I can't even remember him getting ahead of Fernando Alonso, to be fair, and now he's 11 seconds ahead. I can't remember that thing.
I don't either.
No, Lando Norris setting a fastest lap just to get quickly, for Lewis Hamilton to set one there. I missed what time it was, but 5 tenths quicker than Piastri on that last lap, and Piastri, I think, is going a bit quicker than Lando Norris as well. Or he was until the last lap when Norris had set the fastest lap for a few seconds, because it was about 8 tenths of a second a gap, and then by the time we got to the DRS zone,
let's watch this. Was he? He put on
it
hard.
Splits, and the pit lane is like a river. Massive pull there on pit exit, so I don't know. He'll probably still be quicker than Leclerc, to be fair. Apparently now, we're at the crossover. Yellow flag in sector 1. Bet you that's fucking Gasly. I would bet you every fucking penny in my bank. That is Gasly. That's Gasly just gone off. That's Gasly. We're waiting for a replay. I'm calling. That's fucking Gasly. Right as he's come out of the pits.
If he crashes coming out of the pits, I take my statement back. I don't want him in the second Red Bull seat.
The commentator's curse happening twice, are we? Oh, and there's Lando Norris cutting the track at turn 2. Now, I think, that's going to let Piastri... I don't think he's going to let him through.
That's your boy right there. That's your boy Lando.
Yeah, and who's just suddenly... I said he woke it up on the first stint. If he's woken up on the first stint, he's gone back to sleep now. I think it was Gasly. There's Kevin Magnussen's in the pits as well. Magnussen's coming. And I think he's copied Gasly. So what's happened to... I think this is a similar thing that Max did. Yeah. I think this is a similar thing that happened to Max, but a lot worse because Max only put it ever so slightly.
Listen to George. Always pointing the finger at everyone else for his misfortunes.
I'm surprised we didn't get a crikey or a holy moly out of him there. 4 seconds the gap. And Leclerc, unsurprisingly...
Leclerc retired the car.
Retiring the car and does not look happy. And
why'd they retire?
Because he was a minute behind Gasly and there's no point to continue. I think they're trying to save the engine. Bottas now coming in as well. Magnussen went onto the mediums. Norris has been noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. It didn't look like he did because that gap is pretty much exactly the same now as it was before he went off. So Bottas on the mediums now. I think if
look how dude, it is amazing to me how fast this track dries out and soaks up.
It's the completely new repaving that they did because before we'd never get this. But now, if I'm every other track on the calendar, I'm asking the Canadian Grand Prix organizer, because Lewis Hamilton's coming to the pits. I'm asking these lot, where the fuck did you get this asphalt? Because I want it. So Lewis Hamilton in the pits now, presumably for the medium tyre, and I can see the RB team coming out as well. So I think Yuki Tsunoda might be into the pits as well. No, I'm not sure if Tsunoda's coming.
Oh, he went mediums.
That's what I would do. Tsunoda's not going to come in. I think it might be Daniel Ricciardo. That was it, because I saw the RB team coming out. And now we've got Ricciardo, we've got Sainz, and we've got Perez all into the pits now. So Hamilton in a very good position, I'd say. Now, what are the leaders going to do? Are they going to respond? I would imagine so, to try and prevent them from losing. Well, I'm going to keep a very close eye on the gap between Hamilton and Albon here, because it's going to take a while for... I'm expecting him to lose quite a bit on the first few laps because it's going to take a while to get temperature in. I mean, he's 1.9 seconds behind Albon right now. I think it was about 8 tenths when he came out of the pits. So Max Verstappen is one to keep an eye on here. What's he going to do?
I mean, he's going to react. I mean, I think just by looking at Hamilton right here, right now.
Max has stayed out, as has everyone else in the top 4. No, sorry, Piastri's in the pits now. So Piastri's responded.
Well,
Max,
Perez is on. I think so. Perez is on the mediums. I didn't notice Perez on the mediums. So Perez is on the mediums. So they're probably testing the waters with Perez. And Max has enough of a gap that I think they're comfortable that they could get in and out. But I don't see him sitting out much longer than this lap.
2.7 seconds there from the McLaren pit crew. Pretty good one. And now Alonso, Tsunoda, Stroll, Ocon, and Albon all into the pits. So there is quite a big pace differential now, I think. We have reached the crossover, and we have well and truly passed it. A bit of a slow stop for Yuki Tsunoda, 4 seconds in the pit. So he's going to lose out to Fernando Alonso. Max Verstappen in this lap.
Yeah,
sorry. Max Verstappen, if you look at the bottom right there, can you see he's been in the pits for half an hour?
Oh my God. What in the world, dude? I didn't notice that. I was so focused on the race, I didn't notice that at all. That's hilarious. Yeah, right.
All of the top 3 I'm expecting to come in here. Max is in. George is in. Lando is not. Lando stayed out. What did the pit crew just not fancy coming back out? What's happened there? I mean, Lando's just at the fastest lap of the race. So clearly there is still some speed in that car. But I mean, oh yeah. Good point here from Julian Palmer on comms. Lando Norris was a second quicker than Max in the middle sector. I think he said Lando. I don't know, because I was too busy undulating at the fact that Lando had stayed out. I do not get why he's done that. It's a 16.8 second gap, I believe, if that's the timing screen's right. And now Piastri just rounding 10-2 as well. Big snap there for Zhou Guanyu just ahead of him. And now Lando Norris is under investigation for leaving the track and gaining an advantage, which I think Lando should be coming in this lap. He's gaining quite a bit on Verstappen, but that's just because Verstappen's taken a while to build up the tyre temperature. To be fair, if Lando comes in this lap, there is a chance that he comes out ahead of Max.
Yeah, there's a small chance.
He's staying out again.
What is he doing?
I have no idea. Why is he staying out? Max he's just at the new fastest lap. 23.2, but Max, I think, is gaining on him a little bit. 20.2, just up to 20.5. 20.8 now.
There's no way he's outrunning a medium tire on the... What is going on with this car?
I think he's woken up. He's had about 5 cans of Monster.
Yeah, they just have a Red Bull dispenser in his helmet.
Yeah. Oh no, that'd be blasphemy because McLaren is sponsored by Monster.
No, that's the whole point. He's drinking a little bit of what Max has got.
And look at the gap now. It's up by a second. I'd come in now. I know we've said that for the past 3 laps and he hasn't, but I'd come in now.
Yeah, you're playing. If he stays out, he's playing with fire.
The gap's just going up and down, and now Pierre Gasly has just set the fastest lap. 22.7. And now he finally comes into the pits. This could be an absolute masterstroke from McLaren here. And that's often when when you've got it right, because we're sat here going, well, what the fuck's he done this for? But that's often when they've got it right. Now, we see them both. I think Lando's done it. I think he's done it. Has he done it? This is going to be close.
He did it.
He's done it. He's got out ahead.
No, he's not got the temperature, though.
No. Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't have the temperature, though. If he could have got out of the pit line right there and blocked, maybe, but he didn't have the temperature.
And I think he would have been marked for that, for like unsafe driving or something, because if he just comes out and then cuts across immediately, that's dangerous driving. Right, my thing's paused, so I'm going to stop this and then go back on it.
If it holds as true, our predictions would be correct on this crazy flip-flopping back and forth of the top 3. Ironically, we would be spot on with our predictions for this Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah. Right, my thing's still loading. I'm going to take this off for now. Jesus Christ. Until this comes back on. Or I might have to. I think I can. Yeah,
it's time to go, Max. That's why if I'm Christian, I'm on the radio. Max is complaining about his car again.
Oh, big fucking surprise.
He's complaining about the suspension this time.
Right, I'm going to shut this and try it on it, because if I can get it working on this, it should be fine. Open it here.
Oh my God! What a little What a little save right there by Lando. I don't know if you caught that on the replay.
No, my stream's gone, so I'm going to try and get, because I think this Discord is connecting weird on here. So, what I'm going to do is...
Oh, no, a lockup from Lando. Oh, he still saved it, though. He kept it, but I think George is going to... Yep, George. There goes Russell.
I think it's a racing incident, because look at Piastri here. He's on the curb.
Yeah, but...
He can't go anywhere. So, if there was contact there, which it looks very much like there was, that should be ruled as a racing incident simply because Piastri had nowhere to go, and they were side by side going into the corner, so no one was ahead.
Yeah. The FIA is historically terrible with making these kind of calls, so I'm sure you'll see a 5-second penalty.
Wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think there should be. And now there's a bit of a train.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Oscar didn't really have anywhere to go on that, so I think that is a racing incident.
Max with another fastest lap, but Lando slightly going quicker. I think he's dropping the gap a little bit, which doesn't make sense that Max is just at the fastest lap, yet he's going slower than Lando. That's weird, but this is a good battle now coming up. Esteban Ocon's going for a move on Daniel Ricciardo.
Look, here we go. This is the battle that I was talking about.
This is the one. Yeah, and then the team radio. Oh, this could be so good, but so chaotic because they've just radioed to Daniel Ricciardo and said, you can fight Yuki. So this is either going to end in...
Oh, they're going to crash. They're going to crash. Yuki Tsunoda he's too hot-headed, bro. This is not going to go over well.
Back in Bahrain, they made contact and they both went at each other's throats. So if something happens here, wow, this could end up in a charity boxing match.
If they do crash, though, I just hope that Daniel doesn't break his arm or his leg or his neck or his collarbone or a finger or whatever it is. It seems like every time he touches the wall,
Liam Lawson's licking his lips at this. And now here's Lewis Hamilton doing what George Russell couldn't and getting ahead of Oscar Piastri. But he's only got 5 laps now to try and challenge Lando Norris for second, which I don't think he will do. He sets the fastest lap, to be fair. But the same goes for Lando Norris, who only has 5 laps to try and get ahead of Max Verstappen, which, again, I do not think he's going to do. So, Max Verstappen's won. Lando second, Lewis third. That's pretty much going to be it now. That's what I was saying. Did you just hear what he said on the comment?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was fucking saying.
No, after I agreed with you. It's one of the things where, like, how bad do you think that, or like Lando's been like this race? He's like been like flat, and then out of nowhere he's had that like ascend to performance. So it's like, do you think Lando's got one more push like that in him? If you do, you have to let him go. You can't use him to help Oscar because Max will piss off into the distance.
Yellow flag in sector 2. I believe that's Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, what did we say? Yuki Tsunoda has gone off, and the yellow flag's still out. I think he's going again. I'm not sure. But if this is contact between the two teammates, like we said there was going to be, I need to see this replay right now. No,
he just went wide.
Oh,
dude.
Not only does he only just miss the wall, but he only just misses the
I think that was Hulkenberg, that first one there. Let's see.
The two Hasses and Joe Guan Yu.
Yeah, Hulkenberg or Magnussen. Yeah,
there's Joe, and then there's the other Haas.
No, it can't be. It can't be Joe because Joe's like a lap down. He's still behind Yuki. So that was Bottas.
Reaction from Hulkenberg there. Oh, Jesus! Oh yeah, it was Bottas. Sorry. Oh my God, Hulkenberg there. Forget what I said about Albon earlier needing a new pair of pants. Get them
3 laps to go. Look at this. Look, Russell's making a push. That gap went down a little bit there.
I'm sort of surprised that these have been allowed to race.
Because Delta's going back up again.
What happened in Singapore last year? They went for it. They were allowed to race, and George put himself in the wall in the last lap.
Oh, here we go. Let's see what happens.
Team radio from Lando Norris there. There's a lot of debris where Yuki went off. Wouldn't surprise me now.
It was that pillar that he hit.
Yes, that little bollard there. Wouldn't surprise me if we get a VSC now. I mean, fuck it. This is like Formula E. They're just letting the people race around. Like in Formula E, there could be a whole front wing on the track, and they'd just be like, "Nah, it's fine. It's not on the racing line. Just keep going."
I mean, they did that in Miami. That ball that went out into that Max hit in Miami. They did that for like 3 laps.
This could be close. Yeah, they've let them race, and George just got ahead now, 4th, 3rd. But now Lewis could get past Oh, no. He had to duck back in because on the outside of the
Too wet.
the racing line there going in, it was still wet. So if Lewis went on there, he definitely would have gone into the wall.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh, man. What a race. What a move by George. What a move. That was actually a good racing move. He didn't touch. It was a really good racing move.
Not normally the type of move you'd go for on your teammate, though, either.
No. This was a good overtake, but yeah, definitely not something you do against Lewis. But George was like, hey, you're leaving. Fuck
and
you.
Nearly drops it coming out of the wall of champions as well, which nearly let Lewis back through.
We got, I think, one lap left, and I think our race predictions are going to be spot on. I think we're literally going to
we fucking nailed it. Unless Lewis somehow gets back ahead. I should have put a bet on this. I should have put like 20 quid on this. Max P1, Lando P2, George P3. I should have. Well, I'm going to see what the odds were on that.
Dude, this is crazy. And what's even crazier is that we both made our predictions without even like looking at the other one's predictions. So it's just that's even crazier. We should do moving forward. We should do like a midweek segment on picks, like right after Q. Or like right after like FP3. Well, no, we would need to go to Q3, see who qualifies, because that's going to have a lot to do with it.
So the last lap, Max has pretty much nailed the win unless he kills himself puts himself in the wall on the last lap, which he never does. But so far, looks like we've nailed it. And he's faster. He was faster on the last lap. Is he faster on this lap? This is going to be the point now where if Lewis is going to get ahead, he needs to do it now. Oh no! Why did they cut to Max?
This camera work today is just.
I want to see the Mercedes.
It looks like Lewis didn't get it.
So that's the checkered flag. Max Verstappen has won. Lando second, and by the skin of his teeth, George Russell finishes on the podium.
What are the odds that we got that? Oh my goodness, man. That's good. That was a great race right there. It started out really boring. Well, it started out really hot and heavy.
The battle still going on between the two Alpines and the two Hasses. I think it's going to finish as it is right now with Gasly ahead of Ocon, ahead of Hulkenberg, ahead of Magnussen. And that is pretty much it for the on-track action. We've got 3 drivers yet to cross the line, but
Daniel Ricciardo walking away with point.
Ooh. What happened to Oscar Piastri towards the end? He finished 5.2 seconds behind Hamilton. That was odd. But that was a very, very good race, which I didn't think I'd be saying at some point in that. I actually enjoyed the first stint. I know you didn't, because of your allegiances towards certain drivers and some drivers ending up forced like 7 seconds off the pace. But it was refreshing to see someone else other than Max in the lead for a bit.
Yeah, it was a good race. I enjoyed watching it. There were bits and pieces of it where it was really boring, but I think overall, I think this was probably one of the better Grand Prix this year. And we'll see. I can't wait for Las Vegas, man. I am pumped for Vegas. I don't know why. That was just I thought that was going to be a total egg last year, and it turned out to be one of the best races on the schedule.
In 2 weeks, triple header coming up. We've got Spain, then Austria, then Silverstone. And that is going to be fucking fireworks.
Yeah, I want to see the standings here now. I'm curious who moved up, and because I know Norris, Leclerc were not too far off in points, and this DNF for Leclerc really is gonna put a damper on that.
So I'll see if they've updated. I think they have. Well, if they have, it is quite close at the top. Max Verstappen currently leading on 169 points, with Charles Leclerc in P2, 138. Lando Norris in third, 113, just 5 points ahead of Carlos Sainz on 108. Then Sergio Perez with 107. Oscar Piastri with 71. George Russell in seventh with 54. Lewis Hamilton in eighth with 42. Fernando Alonso with 33 in ninth. And then Yuki Tsunoda in the top 10 with 19. So if that's been updated, which I don't think it has because...
Yeah, I think that's the last week's. But anyways, what a Grand Prix. Pretty action-packed there at the end.
Yeah.
2 safety cars, a lot of rain, a lot of poor strategy on Ferrari's part.
Yeah.
Let's see here. They're going to the podium.
So before we wrap things up then, who is your driver of the day?
My driver of the day is always Max. No, but in all seriousness, I would say that I think that's a good question. That's a good question. I would say Lando probably. Lando put on a pretty good performance. Maybe Lewis actually. Lewis gained quite a few positions to finish inside the top 5, or he finished 4th. So he gained he started way back. I think he gained quite a bit of position. So Lando or Lewis.
Yeah, well, I'm probably going to go for Lando as well. Like to have that much pace over Max, especially the first stint there. We don't see many people go that much quicker than him. No. And to be fair, he genuinely had a shot of winning if it wasn't for that safety car. And I do think if that safety car didn't come out, I do believe Lando Norris would have won. Call me biased if you want, but I don't care. Lando would have won if it wasn't for that safety car. So now I know how you and Max fans worldwide would have felt in Miami. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Canadian Grand Prix live reaction, watch along, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It was a fantastic race. And if all goes well, we will see you back here for Spain. I've been Ollie. He has been Dustin. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.
Oh, here comes Oscar.
Right, so I'm hoping.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Max says he can't touch any of the curbs. It's almost knocking him out if he touches them. Jesus Christ. Max, this will be his 60th win if he wins this Grand Prix today. That is masterwork. That is a master class, dude. That's so fast.
Right, I'm good now. Right, there we go.
Yeah, you missed a wee bit of action there. I would love to get your reaction of Lando absolutely locking up and almost going off.
Lando back through.
This battle between these two right here is probably the battle of the day. This is the kind of racing that I want to see with the new format car. This is the kind of stuff that I want to see. I want to see a true battle.
I need some Peppers. Reminds me of the soft drinks.
Is that a whole liter of Pepsi?
Need some Peppers. All right. Toto on the radio. That's when you know. When Toto goes on the radio. All right, so what's happened here then? So he's gone in. It's a big snap there. And then he's on hards as well, George. He's on hards. Why is he on hards?
They were just talking about that. He's even Norris slid a little bit there on the rear end when coming through there. But anyways, they were talking about that. So George took the gamble on the hards. So we'll see how it turns out for him.
So far, our predictions are spot on. Yellow flag in Sector 2, Sergio Perez dropping down the timing sheet. I think he's gone off somewhere. Perez has gone off. The green flag is back out, so the track is clear.
It blows my mind how bad he is in that car. It really does.
I believe that Scarface, as I'm going to call him, Sergio Perez.
Oh, shit. No, he's completely destroyed the wing of that car. We're going to have a safety car because that debris is going to come off.
There, looking like one of the old fan cars, like the Brabham fan car from back in the Swedish Grand Prix in 1970. I'd take another safety car. I want another safety car.
I know you would. I know you'd take another safety car. Yeah, look, there's debris there on the track.
Yeah, and now Oscar Piastri is lining up George Russell. I don't know if this is going to be a moving towards the final corner with DRS open. Miranda Acosta DRS getting completely removed for 2026, and that rear wing is hanging on literally by a thread at the back of that Red Bull. Something else has just flown off there. There's a yellow flag out in Sector 2. I think that's for debris.
That's a Ferrari.
That's Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon. What's happened? I think one of them might have been going for a move.
He's stuck.
And Sainz looks beached. Sainz looks beached. Do you think he's going to do really well here?
Oh no, he's got
himself off the grass and fair play. He's managed to get himself off, but Alex Albon is out of the race. That is a double DNF for Williams, and that could be another safety car. That's another safety car. Now this race is interesting again. Do we see people pit on softs?
No, because if you pit again, I don't know that you put softs on.
I think softs make it to the end.
Maybe. It just depends. I think you go mediums here again. That's what I would do. I would go mediums here so you safely have that, because you got to think the track's still a little wet. If you lock up one time, go wide, you're going to kill us all.
Someone said that the right end plate of Sainz's rear wing is off. So Alex Albon putting in the overtake of the season to this. Let's see what's happened with Perez. Gets onto the gets off of the dry line, onto the little wet patch coming in towards turn 6, and then he dips his wheel on there and he just goes completely spinning.
That's exactly what I was just talking about too. Is if you get the track still is wet on the outside lines, so if you are not hitting your mark every single time, now obviously this is an extreme case of that, but if you lock up on the softs, I mean, you're going to kill the softs and then you're on an island by yourself. So I think you go with the mediums, and I think you just play the race safe. I mean, you could go softs, you could go aggressive. I'm sure that someone will, but I think I go mediums here.
So here's what's happened with Albon. So Sainz had gone round initially, and then just collects Albon. Albon are completely unfortunate, very unlucky.
On second thought, I might go. I agree with you on this. Actually, I recant my previous statement. I think I would go. I would go soft here, maybe.
But Lewis Hamilton's just gone hard. There's Carlos Sainz. So a double DNF and for Ferrari as well. Jesus, Harold Christ. And they've got the tractor out. So definitely, it's clear who the Marshalls' favourite Williams driver is, because look how quickly they've just gone to Albon's car. And then look how long it took them to go to fucking Logan.
Well, Sargent's car was also in the middle of the track. Albon's is literally off in the grass. I think it's a lot safer to get there than it is where Logan was. But
oh God! So all of a sudden, this race has kicked itself into life.
Yeah, we were literally talking about how boring this race was, and out of nowhere we got all the excitement and none of the bore. This is going to be a sprint to the finish, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised that a lot more people didn't come in, because we've got who came in? Joe Guanyu came in. George Russell came in and Lewis Hamilton came in. That's it. So 3 cars coming in. Carlos Sainz enters into a state of manic depression, as does every Ferrari fan on the planet. So yeah, I thought
the entire country of Italy just gave up on life for the day.
Oh, my cat's decided to join me. Have they? Hey, you're going to climb onto the chair then, weren't you? Hey, little bitch, just fucking clawed my elbow there.
Oh, Alex was just trying to dodge. Yeah.
So it's pretty much Carlos did exactly what Perez did. But then as he came back around, he's collected, and that's a broken right rear suspension for Alex Albon.
Oh,
was that Yuki Tsunoda or Daniel Ricciardo? One of the RBs getting very lucky to get out of that cleanly. I think Hamilton might have stiffed himself here, unless he can make those hards work.
I don't know if he'll be able to get the heat in him. And there's the race isn't. Yeah, the race isn't long enough either for the benefits of a hard to really kick in either.
15 laps to go, including this one, lap 56 in Lando Radio. Nothing on the radar, but big showers are popping up around, so we can't rule it out. Ooh, that is something else. It's like this race has just given, right, we'll have a little bit of chaos at the start. We'll make Magnussen move a few places. We'll make the rain go on. Then we'll make it dry. Then we'll make Lando just drive the most dominant Formula One car we've ever seen, apparently. Then we'll give you a safety car. Then we'll give you Max leading again. Then we'll make it boring. And then we'll make it another safety car. Perez can go off. Sainz can kill Albon. And now there might be some more rain. So this race is just like got a massive fucking crock pot full of all of this shit, and it's now just mixing all together. And it genuinely wouldn't surprise me now if we have a multi-car pile-up somewhere just to add to the chaos.
Depends on how long they stay under safety car right here, but you're going to see, I would imagine, coming out of the safety car, you're going to see people try to get a little antsy and get some track position.
Well, it should be ending. I think it should end this lap because, well, it depends on the progress of whether they've moved Albon's car. Joe is trying to unlap himself. He's just gone down the inside of Oscar Piastri. So currently, we've got a McLaren 2-3, George P4, Hamilton P5, both Astons P6 and 7, Alonso ahead of Stroll, Tsunoda, Ocon, and Ricciardo. I do think Ricciardo has served his penalty. And if he didn't under the first safety car, he definitely had the opportunity to now. Ooh, this race. I mean, looking back on this race, we would never think it would be as boring as it has been at points. But these last, 14 laps, if the safety car comes in, or 13 laps, it doesn't look like the safety car's coming in, though. So we're going to get one more lap, because it would be coming in by now, if it was. But look at the track, completely dry in the third sector.
This is a really stupid thought, but it's completely not pertinent to anything important of this race. How long do you think they use these safety cars for before they get rid of them?
Well, this one, apparently, ending this lap. Oh, they've announced that it's ending at turn 2? I don't know. But fair play to Bernd Mailander, who is statistically the best Formula One driver ever, because he has led every single lap he's raced. So you can't, he is the only driver, apart from Marcus Winkelhock, who has led a lap in every race he's been in. And Marcus Winkelhock is a fairly small sample size because he'd only ever do one race.
It's crazy to me, too, that safety car is he's driving the absolute dog shit out of that thing, and those F1 cars are just putting behind it.
At like a third of the overall speed, yeah.
It just goes to show you how fast these Formula One cars really are on a track like this.
Look at that. There is a distinctive dry line there. But if you look even a millimeter off line, it's just still damp as fuck. So Carlos and Sergio spins, you can understand, because even if you dip a wheel about a meter off to the right, you just go around because there's absolutely no grip. But the safety car now speeding off down the back straight, pulling into the pit lane, and Max Verstappen once again controls the pace.
He's going to do his signature creep, and then go. Max is usually very good at this.
Yeah, he's good at going when you least expect him to, but when you most expect him to, he just doesn't. I think if I'm him, right on the exit of the chicane, right as the cars behind you are going through it, so you got the opportunity to absolutely pelt it while they're still going through the corner.
Here we go. This is going to be a knockdown drag out.
And he's gone. Fireworks incoming. I think he's got the jump definitely on Lando. I think Lando's closer to Oscar behind him than he is to Max in front of him. No moves currently, as I can see as I'm going back looking through the field. So, yeah, nothing at the moment, but a 1.2 second gap. Well, that's what Max is good at. He's good at building a gap immediately. And as we've seen, Lando has a very good opportunity now to, as they get heat back into the tyres and as the grip comes back to them, Lando will probably end up going quicker. But since Max is so good at making the gap immediately, right off the gate, it might have been too much for him to gain, if he's gaining at the rate that he is now, which is about a tenth, and then he's losing, so the gap's going up and down, up and down. So you have no idea who's actually quicker. But because of Max had the element of surprise off the safety car restart, that's what he's normally very good at, and that could be the reason that Norris doesn't end up winning this race.
But if Lando just had 2 more laps,
hey, you never know. He's got 12 more now, or 11 more once they cross the line.
I'm curious to see how this. So I'm keeping a close eye on this. Sorry if I'm kind of seeing distant right here. I'm keeping a close eye on 8th through 11th. You have the Alpines and RBs stacked up on top of each other. So I'm curious to see what goes on here because it's literally like a sandwich. You got 1 and 1. So yeah. I'm curious to see to round out the points finishes. Can Daniel? Oh Lord, can Daniel manage to come away with points after getting that 5-second penalty for that early start at the beginning of the race, or 8 point?
I'd back him too because you've got Gasly behind him on hards. I don't know how quick because there's some weird cases, isn't there, where hards actually end up being quicker than mediums. They end up being the preferential tire, but I don't know if Canada's been normally one of them tracks. So we'll wait and see. Gasly's keeping a consistent gap. I think he's gained ever so slightly, about 0.3 across the course of this lap. And that has allowed Nico Hülkenberg now to get involved into this little fight going on between 8th and now 12th. But I think now Oscar Piastri has got DRS off the back of his teammate Lando Norris. So this is going to be interesting. Do they allow Oscar to get through and ahead into second? Or do they keep Norris ahead and have Piastri just defending against the Mercedes because they think Lando might have a chance to attack Max towards the end? I don't know. This is going to be interesting coming towards.
I mean, out of the 2 McLarens, Norris has showed the most pace overall throughout the whole race. So I don't think that they give team orders to swap those cars. Oh Lord, Magnussen! What in the world? When was this?
In the grass. I think this
was just now. Oh yeah, just came off the back there of Bottas, I think.
Going for a friendly, yeah. Going for a friendly.
I seen they didn't cut the landscapers didn't get that spot there. He was just helping them out.
Is that level? No, right. I saw that out. Yeah, no.
Right. I got that. Don't worry. I'll help you out.
You can pin back in championship points.
I feel bad for Magnussen. They were talking about it earlier. He's like 1 penalty away from like being banned for
yeah. He's on. Is it 11? And if you get to 12, it's a race ban.
Like, I feel like some of those penalties they gave him out too at where was it where he got like 4 penalties in one race? It was like
Miami.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man. They're just handing them out to him now. He's not even deserving of these.
Well, to be fair, he did try and murder Lewis Hamilton. So that gap's coming down a little bit by about 4/10 for the lead between Max and Lando. But George looks on it behind both McLarens right now. So it's up to Piastri to keep that from becoming just one car on the podium. So they really want a double podium here. But they also want to protect Lando from getting attacked by George. So that responsibility lies heavily on Oscar Piastri here, just to try not to let him past. This is where Lando has a bit of a brain fart, because does he help Piastri defend against George by dropping by a little bit just to give him DRS, but then compromise his attack towards Verstappen? Or does he focus on Verstappen ahead, completely leaving Piastri behind, vulnerable to the Mercedes?
It looks like George Russell is going to take advantage of him anyway.
That's a lunge. Ooh, doesn't work, but he's got DRS. But so does Piastri. How the fuck's he got DRS?
Because he's still within a second of Norris at the time.
George is going for it. Oscar has the inside line. I think this is going to be Oscar's here. Only just.
Dude, I really like Oscar Piastri. I think he has a bright future in Formula One. He is a really good young driver on the grid. I really like his driving style. He's a good middle ground, in my opinion. He's not too aggressive, but he's not a pushover. Like, he's aggressive when he needs to be. Yeah. And for his age, he's very calculated with a lot of his defenses and a lot of his attacks. And I really like Oscar a lot. There
we go. That's the team radio we were waiting to hear. So they've told him to hold position. So he's absolutely not attacking Lando Norris. And he's just radio back to them saying he needs to focus on defending from Russell, which is practically both of the points I made when I was talking about it. I don't know. He's not in DRS range. He's over a second.
Yeah, but
they've just passed the detection zone. Because the detection zone is before the braking point for turn 11. Or is it turn 10? More of the turns. And look, that is vulnerable as fuck now coming down this back straight. And Russell's going to go for it. That's contact. That's surely contact. And Russell's got to go wide. Russell has a pretty good case there if he wants to rip up Piastri. I'm not quite sure. Hamilton's just got ahead of Russell now. Ooh, wow. So this has fucked Mercedes now. I'm not sure if they're going to go up Piastri for this, because they're really.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a 5-second penalty on that one.
I'm not sure, because where could have Piastri gone? Russell had squeezed him as much as he could towards the inside, and because Russell had turned in, I think they were pretty.
Let's watch the replay here.
I don't think that's a racing incident.